Okay, so we're going to do this next lesson is solving for an unknown angle, and this is page 14 in your notes package. So the ones we did yesterday was looking for an unknown side. Now we're going to look for an unknown angle because sometimes you're given your triangle and you're given two sides but no angle. So if you're looking for an angle, you can use those two sides to find the angle. Okay, so you need two sides. Now obviously you can use those two sides to find the missing third side. Once you find an angle, you can find the other angle because all the angles in a triangle add up to 180, but we're going to get there. Okay, we use the same process we used yesterday. We're going to label, circle, choose, and solve. So the same process, it's just that now we're looking for an angle. So label your triangles. This should sound familiar. With opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. Label, or circle, the two sides you know. Okay, and this is always done, the angle we're interested in is the one that we're looking for. Then we're going to choose the trig function that works. So we'll use our SOHCAHTOA to help us find the right trig function, okay? And then we have something different. We're going to divide. We're going to solve by dividing. And then we use the inverse sine, cos, and tan. And if you notice, it's a second. You use the second function, and it's sine -1, cos -1, tan -1. So very similar except for the last step. So let's walk through this first one, thinking about our label, circle, choose, and solve. Okay, so here is our angle of interest, the x. We know our hypotenuse is there. From angle x, this is adjacent and this is opposite. So we've labeled all of our sides. We're going to circle the ones we know. We know the adjacent and the hypotenuse. So thinking about SOHCAHTOA, that means we're using cos, right? Because it's ka. So cos theta is equal to A over H. Now the neat thing with this is that you don't have to do cross multiplying and dividing when you're finding an angle. You're just going to find the ratio. So cos of x is equal to 109 over 134. And we're going to divide, right? I grabbed my phone to divide instead of my calculator. So cos of x is equal to, when I go 109 divided by 134, I get 0.8134, 4 decimal places. Now we use our second function buttons. So what we're finding is our x degrees is equal to cos -1 of 0.8134. So basically we're going to do second function cos for that ratio. So you put that number in and then do second function cos, and it looks like that cos -1. And we get, and it's going to shoot out a degree, which is 35.6 degrees. And we can do just 1 decimal place for degree, okay? Because any more than that, not going to make much sense. Alrighty. So we're still doing our steps. Let's do the next two. We are doing label, circle, choose, and solve. Good to do some practice. So our angle of interest is already highlighted. Well, we know the big one is the hypotenuse, and across is the opposite. And the other one is our adjacent, right? The right next door. So let's circle what we know from those sides. We know our hypotenuse and our opposite. So we know that's so sine theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. So substitute in what you know. We're looking for sine of x. Opposite is 2.5 over our hypotenuse, which is 5. So we're going to divide those. 2.5 divided by 5 is 0.5. Then for x degrees, we're going to do sine -1 of 0.5. And again, we're putting in second sine to get that button. So second sine 0.5, we get 30 degrees. So that would be our solution. Okay? Some ways it's easier because you don't have to cross multiply and divide, but you do have to remember to use the second function. Let's do a third example. It says we're solving for angle ABC. So if you think back to yesterday morning when we were talking about labeling triangles, the angle we're looking for is always the middle one. So this would be our angle of interest. So let's label. Our big side across from the square is the H. Right next door is our adjacent, and right across is our opposite. Okay, let's circle what we know. We know our adjacent, and we know our opposite. So we're going to use TOA or tan. So tan theta is opposite over adjacent. So tan of B or ABC equals 7 over 4. So tan of ABC, or you could just write B, I'd be okay with that, is 1.75. So ABC, and you can also write an angle there, would be tan -1 of 1.75, which, so we do second function tan 1.75, and we get 60.3 degrees. It'll round up to 3. Did I do that right? I did not. Did you guys catch that? I put my things in wrong. Please ignore, please ignore. Rewind. Mrs. Finley put, this is why you label. I'm looking at it going, that doesn't sound right. And it doesn't, because our opposite is 4 and our adjacent is 7, and I put them in wrong. So you probably were yelling at the video, stop. And we get 0.5714. So 0.5714, and that's going to give me an answer that I think is more right. Yeah, 29.7 degrees. So my apologies. Okay. So that is the first lesson for today. It's finding missing angles. If you finish this practice super fast because you have this page to do, it's page 15, go back and work on page 12 and 13 as well from yesterday. 12 and 13 from yesterday.